Editing and reframing in Insta360 Studio can be a massive time drain. That is, unless you know these 5 powerful tools. In this video, I'll show you how to slash your editing time and get pro level results using some simple inbuilt features of the software. Big thanks to Insta360 for sponsoring this video, and all shots I'll be editing in the tutorial were shot with the Insta360 X4, which I'll link below. So before we get started, you'll want to make sure that you're using the latest version of Insta360 Studio, which it should automatically prompt you to update when you open the app. The version I'm using in this tutorial is 5.5.2 beta 2, so you will need at least this version and beyond to take advantage of the tools I'm about to show you. So here's a 360 shot from my recent trip to Singapore, which was amazing. I got some epic shots here in this amazing city. And this bus really had 360-degree views, which would make it a perfect candidate for a long shot where you reframe around looking in every direction. And previously, if you wanted to do that, what you'd have to do is choose your first perspective, then add a keyframe here with this keyframe button, then play the timeline forward, stop, move around, and go back and click the keyframe button again, then go back and watch to see what it looks like. But this process has become even faster now. So now if you want to reframe a shot super fast, all you have to do is right click on your mouse. So I'm going to right click here, and you'll see right next to the cursor, a little plus icon has showed up, signifying that this is going to be a keyframe. And as soon as I let this go, it's going to save the keyframe in place. Here I go, and you'll see that it's added a keyframe down here on the timeline. Now I'll play the shot forward, but this time, instead of having to manually add the keyframe every time, all I'm going to do is right click the mouse again. So I'm right clicking and drag the perspective over here. Again, as soon as I let go, it's going to save this perspective in place. And voila, we've got 2 keyframes. So you could just keep playing your timeline forward, right clicking as you go to save the new perspective in place. And it's going to keep adding keyframes. This time I'm going to get a bit fancy, and I'm going to right click while simultaneously zooming out on my mouse, moving the perspective around up into a tiny planet. So this is one continuous right click I'm doing here. And as soon as I let go, again, it's going to save it as a new keyframe, as you can see here. So for longer shots, this is going to save so much time, since it's literally only one click of a button to both reframe and save that keyframe in place. The next time-saving feature has to do with symmetry. If you're like me, you are obsessed with symmetry, and every single shot you shoot and edit has to be 100% symmetrical, or it's not good enough. Well, fellow OCD people, I have great news for you. There's a very easy way to guarantee this. So here in Insta360 Studio, if you head up to Window, then Guides and Enable, up comes a grid that will help you perfectly frame your shot to be symmetrical. So with this new keyframe, I'm going to right click to drag it around. I'm going to make sure I have the same proportions on the top and bottom. So I think I've got roughly the same amount here as I do here. Let's play it forward. And yeah, that shot looks very symmetrical. Without these, it can be hard to know if you're in the exact center point. You might think so, and you'll save it and export it. But then later, once you've shared it with people, you realize, oh no, it's like 1 degree off and you can't unsee it. So again, if you've got OCD like I do, you're welcome. Here's another cool shot I got in Singapore, and get this is Singapore's Apple Store. It's this big floating orb in the middle of the harbor, and that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen, hence why I had to get a video of it. And my idea for this shot is that I want to cut between the shot of the Apple Store and my face reacting to it. So here on the right hand side of Insta360 Studio, if you click Clip Management, here you'll find an option to duplicate your clip. So I'm going to click Create New Clip, and what it's going to do is create a second version that I can reframe. So I could reframe shot 1 towards the Apple Store, like so, and then shot 2 I'll reframe towards myself, like so. So now Insta360 has 2 separate versions of the exact same clip that I can now export. This is a really good tool for when you shoot 360 video with the intention of getting multiple perspectives out of the same shot. Maybe you've got a couple of people in frame and you want each individual person's perspective, or maybe you want to try one as a normal kind of shot like this and a second version as a sped up time lapse. Well, instead of having to redo everything from scratch, this is a great way to edit the same shot in multiple ways. The next feature is batch color correction. So if you click on media processing here on the right hand side of one of your clips, here is where you can color correct your shots to make them more saturated and vibrant, maybe fix some of the highlights being overexposed or shadows too dark. Before, after, before, after. Firstly, I'd say that these color correction sliders have improved with recent updates. They're not as bad as they once were, so don't be afraid to use them if you just want a quick color grade without having to go to another software to fully edit and color correct your videos. Okay, so we've edited this one shot. However, I've got heaps of shots from my trip here that I also want to color correct. So does that mean I have to do them one by one, which will take forever? I'm glad you asked. The answer is no. So here underneath the color correction menu, there's a button that says batch settings. If you click that, here we can now apply specific changes that we made to this clip to other clips. So I'm just going to select all the different color correction settings that I checked. I want to apply to other clips, so I'm going to click next. And now I can choose the other clips that I want to apply them to. So you can either select all if you want the same grade across multiple clips, or select the one or two other clips you think would be suitable for that same color correction. Then finally click apply in batches. And here we go. My first clip has now been color corrected the exact same way as the Apple Store clip. I will say that this batch option also applies to other factors. So like if you want flow state stabilization or direction lock, there's also an option to batch it to multiple other clips, as well as your stitching settings here has the option, and even your sound. So if you want to choose voice focus or noise reduction, you can also batch apply that to all your shots, which will save you from doing these things 100 times over. So there are 5 features you'll definitely want to try next time you open up Insta360 Studio for a faster editing experience. And while saving time is great, if you really want to master 360 video and produce professional looking videos that stand out, you'll need the full skill set. Inside my 360 Video 101 course, I cover everything you need to know from gear to shooting to editing, so you can make Insta360 videos that really wow your audience and get you noticed online. If you want to learn more, just follow the link below. Now, if you want to learn the creative side of creating amazing shots in Insta360 Studio and exactly how to reframe your shots in a cinematic way, check out this video here where I'll share 10 cinematic movements you've got to try.